Mine was inside the mirror.
Can you see this?
Yep.
Mummies?
Mummies.
No mummies, no.
No,
not
mummies.
yet.
Oh, these are just.
That was very early beginning. They never mummified. They used to make, that's prehistory. They used to make a pit under the ground having an oval shape where the mummies used to be in the mummified form. Here, that's the fetal position,
Yeah.
back to his mother's womb. And they never mummified them. They put them in dry areas. In the fetal position was whatever he might need in his afterlife. Egyptians are so keen about jewelry since the very, very early beginning. He had to take his jewelry with him in his tomb, and up till now we love jewelry. Pots, jars, knives, whatever he needed in his afterlife. And that was the tomb. Simple, very simple. A pit under the ground. But because of the jackal was worshipped later on out of fear, not out of love. They found that animal going to the graveyard, fetching where the mummy is, dissecting, eating the flesh, leaving the bones without a single piece of flesh. They believe that that animal is far advanced in anatomy, and that's why, out of fear, without my body I cannot live again. That's what the ancient Egyptians believed. They started to worship the jackal. They called him Anubis, and we see Anubis in many places. Became god of mummification, god of purification. And they started to make their tombs more complicated. So at the beginning it was very simple. Then, I'm saving you standing in the sun. We go there, but let's do the introduction here. In the shade, this is what we call mastaba. Substructure, shaft, ending with the burial chamber, and we didn't have the chance to visit that part. There is nothing down and it's not decorated, and the superstructure, just the seat bench. At the beginning, first and second dynasties, they used mud bricks. Here it is. That's cross section where the sarcophagus is, and some rooms behind. Then came our famous king Zoser. He had a genius architect. His name was Imhotep. He asked Imhotep to do something different, durable. Mud brick is not durable. He asked Imhotep to use stone. For the first time to use stone, Imhotep took the order and he started. But at the beginning, Imhotep, the architect, did not intend to make the tomb of his king having a shape of a pyramid or a step pyramid. No. At the beginning, the only modification was using stone instead of using mud bricks. So at the beginning, the tomb was just a seat bench, mastaba. Mastaba, like the others, and the complex is enclosed with an enclosure wall. None of the Egyptians saw the eternal house of his king. That's why he thought of extending, putting 4 extra steps above the first one. The height of each was 10 meters. But after making them 4, it was not high enough. He wanted to make it higher, bigger. But his problem was he didn't have a space here on the top to put 2 extra steps. So logic says to extend, he had to start from the beginning to make the first bench bigger. This is what he did, but he was so smart. To save time, to save efforts, he extended the first bench from one side, this side. He made it bigger, second, third, fourth, big enough to carry 2 extra steps above. It ended with 6 steps above, and when we go to the pyramid, we can see it clearly. How the first bench on one side and the extension was from one side.
Oh, okay.
Mashi?
Mashi.
And what is the significance of a step pyramid? It looks like a staircase leading the soul of the king to heaven. That became a fashion. The step pyramid became a fashion. All the kings who came after Zoser of the 3rd dynasty, they had their tombs with the shape of a step pyramid. Again, old kingdom lasted for 4 dynasties, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. So that was the fashion of the 3rd dynasty, the step pyramid. Then came the first king of the 4th dynasty, not Cheops, his father, Snefru. He got bored of those step pyramids. He wanted a true pyramid. He asked another genius architect, I want a true pyramid. The architect took the order, and after building half of the king's pyramid, he changed his mind. He discovered that the pyramid will be so high, so heavy, and the pyramid might crush the burial chamber. That's why halfway through he decided to change the angle to a smaller angle. Instead of having that angle, he changed the angle to a smaller angle. Have any of you heard about what we call bent pyramid? B-E-N-T? Bent pyramid? And because of the two angles, he was a bit concerned that the pyramid won't be durable enough. That's why beside the first piece, see how it has two angles, bent pyramid?
Yeah.
He decided to have another one with a smaller angle already. The bent pyramid and the red pyramid, two pyramids were built for one king, the father of Cheops. You see the two angles? I'm an engineer, that's why. Sorry, my engineering point of view. And then came the son, Cheops, and he chose Giza. And then his son, the three pyramids were built for one family, three consecutive kings. Cheops, his son, his grandson. They chose Giza and they built three beautiful pyramids. The Great Pyramid is one of the most perfect mathematical buildings all over the world. And that was the 4th dynasty. 3rd dynasty, it was the step pyramid. 4th dynasty, it was true pyramids, perfect pyramids. 5th and 6th dynasties, the decline started. You remember the scrambled pyramid? That's 6th dynasty. And 6th dynasty as well. You see how the pyramid is not in a good condition, the one you went inside. That's Teti and the scrambled pyramid. So that's an example of the decline.
Why?
They didn't. Why? Imagine after constructing those huge monuments, the country became in a debt, and the Egyptians themselves started to have a lot of financial problems. So they didn't pay that much of attention to the quality of the stones. So those are not as old. This is much older than those. But you see how this one is in good condition. They chose better quality of stone and they gave it extra time and care. Why? Why did I take that much of precious time of your time to explain the development of the pyramid shape? How it started with a pit, then one step, then a bent pyramid, then a step pyramid, then a bent pyramid, then a complete pyramid, then a perfect one, then the decline. I did this on purpose to answer the same frustrating question. Most of you come asking me, what do you ask about? Aliens. It is frustrating. Some people still believe that aliens were the ones. Did you hear the theory before? Come on, and did you believe it? Please say la 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 la. You imagine, again, I showed you how many pyramids we have. Imagine aliens coming down on earth, just to one country, just to Egypt, just to construct a pyramid, then up and down along the history. And if they loved our country that much, why didn't they stay? Are we aliens hiding the antenna somewhere? Where is my antenna? Now we have plenty of evidence to show that Egyptians were the ones who built those pyramids, and it was love and respect, not slavery. Okay? So that's the beginning of the decline, but that was the beginning of the Pyramid Age, Old Kingdom. Mashi.